Jennifer Lopez has some dark secrets. These are a few she paid to try and keep the public from knowing. Jennifer Lopez once got hotel staff fired for autograph requests. Now, J-Lo has a few movies, to her name. She tends to do a lot of rom-coms, which are personally the ones that I like the best that she does. One of my favorite movies actually is Maid in Manhattan, which came out in 2002. Now, in this movie, her character plays a Puerto Rican hotel maid trying to make ends meet while she cares for her young son as a single mom. In 2012, Jennifer's trip to Germany made gossip headlines because a hotel worker who was also a maid named Prey Dodage was reportedly fired on the spot for just requesting an autograph. According to sources, Prey asked her assistant for an autograph and she was then fired the next day for basically no reason, so that would seem. Now, Prey went on to say, a day later, the cleaning company that employed me at the hotel called and said, Miss Lopez had complained. I was fired right there on the phone. Prey said she asked, as politely as possible and really didn't think it would be a big deal or that it would cause such a frenzy and definitely not get her fired, but unfortunately it did. The hotel denied the rumors, as did J-Lo, of course, who called the story hurtful. Of course, when Jennifer was, being interviewed on playing a hotel worker in Maid in Manhattan, she had only wholesome positive things to say, with her stating, my character is just trying to make ends meet. I really relate to her. You shouldn't judge or discard people. Well, that really did not age well, did it? So, this secret is one she's been trying to keep under wraps ever since it happened because, according to some sources, it is alleged that she tried to pay a lot of people, to keep this in the dark. But, she already has been highlighted as such a, difficult person to work with, problematic, so she had to know that this coming out would further destroy her reputation. To be so fair, I see how Prey, the maid, would assume J-Lo would just relate to her since, she played this role 10 years earlier. This next scandal is very odd, too crazy not to talk about, so prepare to be a little surprised and confused. This is the J-Lo Virgo audition controversy. Now, please let me start by saying, I'm pretty into astrology. I personally read my horoscope a couple times a week. I have an app or two on my phone, but I'm not J-Lo crazy. She takes that first place. So back in 2012, J-Lo held a dance audition for her world tour. Now, it sparked heated debates about the fairness and legitimacy of the casting process. So basically, she held an open casting call. Hundreds of dancers attended the audition, of course, but things took a very unusual turn when it was revealed that Lopez had a very peculiar requirement for the dancers. According to various reports and testimony from dancers who attended the audition, Lopez asked the dancers about their astrological signs, but in specific really just wanted to know whether they were Virgos or not. Several dancers came forward speaking on this, including Heather Morris, which she's one of the stars from the hit show Glee, claiming that Lopez made a point to ask everyone in the room if they were Virgos or not. Some even alleged that all Virgos were dismissed and not even given a chance to audition. J-Lo apparently walked in the room and said, "Thank you so much. You guys have worked so hard. By a show of hands, if there are any Virgos in the room, can you just raise your hands?" Apparently, she saw the raised hands, whispered to her assistant, whatever she did, and then basically dismissed all the Virgos. They all just had to leave. And this was after 6 to 8 hours of being there. One dancer who wished to remain anonymous told a popular dance publication that J-Lo's team asked about their astrological sign before the audition. And the dancer, who's a Virgo, claimed that they were immediately cut. They weren't even given a chance to attend, period. Another dancer corroborated this, saying that J-Lo's team seemed to be looking for non-Virgos specifically. This dancer, who isn't a Virgo, admitted to being surprised by the unusual question, but acknowledged being a Scorpio very well, may have given them that advantage as well as just the opportunity to even audition. I'm honestly so curious. I just want to know what Virgos have done to cause J-Lo to hate them so much. And no shade when I say this, but I know Mark Anthony, was a Virgo, so maybe that's why. Nevertheless, Lopez's team, never publicly confirmed or denied these allegations. However, J-Lo once did mention in an interview with a popular talk show, that she does believe in the power of astrology and often considers that when making important decisions. So I guess, that's why. Ojani Noa, J-Lo's first husband, spilled a lot of secrets of J-Lo that she tried to keep quiet by paying him off. Noa, a Cuban immigrant who was married to Lopez for less than a year in the late 90s, believes there are parallels between his time with the actor and her latest marriage, well, now divorce, which has sparked a wide range of reactions from fans. Now, Noa actually met Lopez when she was still on the roster rise long before her global fame. At the time, Lopez was a 27-year-old actress and singer, making a name for herself in Hollywood, while Noa, 6 years younger, had just arrived a few years earlier in the US illegally from Cuba. He was working actually as a dishwasher at Gloria Estefan's restaurant in Miami when Lopez walked in and basically caught his eye. Their whirlwind romance began shortly after, with the Bronx beauty reportedly just charmed by something special in him that she hadn't seen in other men that she had worked with or been with. In an interview with the Daily Mail, Noa reminisced about the early days of their relationship. He said they lived a relatively simple life, going to movies, dining at local restaurants, a lifestyle he was comfortable with. The pair met in '96 while Lopez was in Miami filming Blood and Wine with Jack Nicholson. Now Noa, who was 22 years old, had just illegally arrived in the United States on a raft from Cuba with 6 of his friends at the age of 15 and did not speak much English. He worked as a waiter at Gloria's restaurant when he, met Lopez. Now, upon meeting, they did instantly hit it off. Lopez and Noa would talk on the phone when the actress was filming out of town. J-Lo's ex said, "I was the first, the pioneer. I was there at the beginning of her career, supporting her, dealing with her anxieties and insecurities." The two married in a modest ceremony in a friend's backyard in Miami in 1997, a stark, contrast to Lopez's recent opulent wedding, with Affleck, which included, the 5.6 million green diamond engagement ring that she is choosing to keep again. Now, the Glamour Woman of the Year's first engagement ring was a fraction of that amount, costing only $15,000, which actually is kind of a lot for normal people, but not for her. Noa claims that he put his heart into their marriage, but Lopez's drive for success came at the expense of their relationship. He said, "I was a really good husband because I believe in marriage." He added, that her focus on becoming a star just overshadowed her role as his wife. He said it became a burden. They would have disagreements at home, but in public, she wanted him to act like everything was okay. He eventually just stopped going out with her. Noa said that, he was the one to pause the relationship, but a few days later, the singer's attorneys just sent him divorce papers. He said, "When we divorced, I was heartbroken. I feel like, when she got what she wanted, I was no longer needed." Noa suggests that the challenges Affleck might, face could mirror his own, which of course they did. Now, he pointed to Affleck's, discomfort in the spotlight, remarking, on honeymoon photos where the actor appeared like he wants to be there with her, but not photographed. Noa's remarks have sparked mixed reactions from fans. Many are skeptical of his motives, questioning, why he's speaking out after more than 2 decades. One person said, "How would this clown know if she's changed since then?" Others criticized Noa for trying to cash in on, J-Lo's fame, calling the interview, opportunistic. Now, someone wrote, "I despise a man or woman who gives in to being interviewed like this. Why pile on this woman's woes after 28.5 years? For what purpose do we need, his opinion after all these years? I highly doubt he would reject Jennifer if they were to be thrown together again. He is salivating at the thought. Not classy, just not classy." Now, despite the backlash, some fans voiced support for, Noa's perspective. One person said, "I get the feeling that J-Lo is addicted to being in love, but does not want to put in the work of a marriage. She lives in a fantasy world and can't be without a man for 5 minutes. She reminds me, a lot like Elizabeth Taylor, who is married 8 or 9 times, I believe." Now, I won't be surprised if J-Lo meets that record. She needs to honestly work on herself and just learn why she can't sustain a relationship. Noa said that the media painted him as the bad guy during their divorce. He was given $50,000 just, after their split to basically protect her image by not saying anything. So, she did pay him to keep quiet, however, he just didn't keep quiet. What do you guys think about J-Lo? Misunderstood, or is she the problem? Let me know your thoughts. I'm your host, Ashley. It's been great catching up.